Are you ready to make $20,000 picking props on Thrive Fantasy this week? I know I am, and I got a few of my favorite plays ready for you right up. This is DFS Up North with DFS Army, and we've got the prop playbook. Let's go. What up, everybody? Like I said, my name is Josh Thomas, aka DFS Up North, and I am here with DFS Army, and we are talking today about Thrive Fantasy, which is one of my favorite websites to play on. I love it. I love props. It's one of my favorite things to dig into and find the research and find the edge. And I'm coming at you today with a couple of my favorite props for their contests this week, and they've got some excellent contests here for week 5. Go Sunday morning all the way till Sunday night. Get that Sunday night game in. Those of you who used to play DFS, we used to have that Sunday night game a long time ago, so it's kind of fun to be waiting on some props from that game. But if you've never played on Thrive Fantasy before, I'm going to give you a little breakdown of how things work before we get into some of my favorite plays. And with my favorite plays, I'm going to show you what tools we have at DFS Army to help you win on Thrive Fantasy. If you've never played here before, use the code ARMY. That gets you a deposit match of up to $200, some free contest tickets, all that. You can see that in the scroll on the bottom here. But let's go to the Thrive Fantasy website. So there's a couple of different contest types, but right away we're going to talk about the main contest, right? So each week Thrive Fantasy puts out a main contest with a big prize up top. We got $100,000 guaranteed, and it's a $25 entry fee. And how this works, right, is that you have to pick 10 props. All right. You pick 10 props, and each prop is assigned a value. All right. You can either take the over or the under, and each one's going to be worth either the same or a little bit different points. So, for example, we got Tom Brady at the top here, 270.5 total pass yards. If you think that he is going to throw for more than 270.5 pass yards, you would take the over. That gets you 95 points if he does it. Or if you think he's going to be less, you take the under. That gets you 105 points. All right. Typically, the 50-50 props, we're looking at about 100 even, right? There's probably one here. Yeah, Tyreek Hill, 76.5 total yards. That's about 100. As you go down, the more or less likely something is to happen, right? So like Trevor Lawrence, 2.5 pass TDs. You get 135 points if you get that one right. Only 65 if you get the under wrong. So what they're saying is basically that Lawrence is very unlikely to throw 3 touchdown passes, right? I think that you and I can both agree that that's fairly unlikely. And you build your card using all 20 of these, or using 10 of these 20 props. All right. Super easy to do, super fun. And like I said, I think there's a big edge. And if we look at the prize payouts, we've got 20K to first, 10K to second, 5K to third. As you go down, 10K, 1,000 to 10th through 15th. But, really pretty top heavy. So we want to try to maximize our value here. And one thing that Thrive does that I think is really cool is they have these. If you look down here, my head's probably in the way. You can see, let me see if I can move my head. If I go to the side here, yep. Okay, so you can see down here, we've got the ice picks. You can see, let me see, I gotta get back on the screen. So right here, ice pick, what that means is the in case of emergency. All right. So you're gonna pick 10 props, then you're gonna pick 2 in case of emergency props. So let's say Najee Harris wakes up on Sunday morning and he has COVID or the flu or whatever, and he doesn't play. Well, if you had him in your 10 props, or if you played him on DraftKings after lock, you're out of luck here, right? But if he doesn't suit up, he doesn't touch the field, right? Then you can use your in case of emergency prop, which is really handy. It's nice for, I know I play sports like golf over here, where we actually do have to worry about guys, maybe not showing up and playing or pulling out sick late, things like that. So like I said, I'm going to show you guys a couple of my favorite props right here. And it's one of them right now is actually the over on Tom Brady. And I'm going to show you why. So we got 270.5 pass yards here. And at 95, 105, seems like a pretty good favorite. So what I have right here is this is our DFS Army research station. So this is basically a sortable tool that you can use for research for the week, whatever you want. And I am looking currently, I clicked on New England. Wow, my brain is in the wrong year today. So I just clicked over here on Tampa Bay, and it's going to show me Tom Brady, and it's going to show me everything from DraftKings projections, FanDuel projections, what we project him to be owned here, what the Vegas line spread, and then our 2020 stats, what the defense is allowed, offensive and defensive average, right? But really the most important part is right here, and that is our weekly projections. All right. So currently, in this game against the Atlanta Falcons, where they have a team total of 28.25, we are projecting Tom Brady to throw the ball 290.6 yards, 2.28 pass touchdowns. And we look back here, 270, that's a 20-yard. We've got 20 yards to work with here on the other side, according to our DFS Army projections. And if I don't say so myself, I think our projections are some of the best in the game. What else you can do is you can go and reference this with, Vegas lines, things like that, to see like, hey, are these projections a little off? What's going on here? And I'm going to tell you right now, we've already done that. And the Vegas lines say that Brady's looking at like 280 here. So the over on Tom Brady, 27.5 passing yards, is like a smash play. Should be in every single prop if you enter this contest, you can play 88 times. Should be in every single one that you play. So I really, really like the Tom Brady over here. Let's look at, okay, like I said, we need to maximize our value here, right? So let's look at what prop has the most points. So we got, let's say this, okay, Zeke Elliott's going up against the Rams. Not a bad defense, not a great defense, but a pretty tough run defense. 52.5 total rushing yards. If we took the under here, we would get 120 points. Sounds pretty slick to me, but let's go check the research station, right? So if I go to the bottom here and click on running backs, bring it up, go back, find Dallas. I like clicking on the team name here in a research station because it's going to show me both of the guys, right? So we're currently projecting, 10.14 DraftKings point or 11.4 DraftKings points. Let's see what our weekly projections are. Ooh, all right. Our projected rush yards here for Zeke in this matchup are 56.5. So, I could go against our projections here, but for me, I'm not gonna touch that, right? You can take the over, but 80 points doesn't really do it for me. Let's see if we can get AJ Brown in there. All right, we got an AJ Brown over 115 yards. Again, we go back to the research station, we click on the wide receivers, and we slide over here to check out the Eagles against the Cardinals game. Click on Philly, see what their receivers look like. We got AJ Brown, he's rolling, and our projections say 76.3. All right. So again, not quite there. And I say we want to maximize our value, right? But we also sometimes got to take a few chances. This is a prop that I am all over, though, is Matthew Stafford, 2.5 pass TDs and interceptions. Like, Stafford turns the ball over a ton. Let's see what the research station says for that. If we go here, we find the quarterbacks. Gotta find the Rams. Let's see. We are projecting my boy Matty Stafford for 1.82 pass TDs. So about 2 pass TDs. Let's be honest, right? Is Matthew Stafford going to throw an interception? The answer is absolutely. He throws a ton of interceptions. In 20 games here, we've got 22 pass interceptions in our database. Trayvon Diggs is going to pick him at some point. So I love the Matthew Stafford over pass TDs and interceptions, because that could be 1 pass TD and 2 picks, right? 1 pass TDs and two picks gets you there. All right. And finally, let's go down here and see. So we've got the ones that we love so far, right? We've got Stafford and we've got Herbert. Let's take a look at, could we get a DK Metcalf TD? Could we get a DK Metcalf TD against New Orleans? Tough game. Secondary good. Really like him. Let's see what. I clicked on New Orleans. I want Seattle. All right, Metcalf. I don't know why. Is Tyler Lockett priced way funny on DraftKings? I'm just trying to check here. Oh yeah, he's cheap. All right, weekly projections. So we are projecting DK Metcalf for about 0.36 receiving TDs. Not great, but I'm telling you what, DK Metcalf is going to score a touchdown this week. And these are some of the chances that you got to take, right? Ideally, we want to build to around 1,000 points. That's going to get you at least up at the top. And you have to, if you want to cash out here, we got to get almost all 10 right. So what I like to do is when I'm playing here is I will build a lineup that I'm going to take some chances. I'm going to look to try to get like around 1,100. All right. We like that. I'll just give you a little snippet here. We like the Josh Allen over 330.5. So, I want to build for some upside, and then I'll build one that's really, really safe. All right. And a lot of times, that one that you think is safe isn't as safe as you think, right? So I like the Najee Harris under here. I think that Cooper Kupp is easily going to get 8.5. So I'm kind of building here. I'm just going to kind of click through a few. We liked the under on AJ Brown. I think that Joe Burrow gets over 24.5 completions in this game. The Ravens defense is trash. I got one more to pick. Let's say that Kamara's not going to score. We're going to say Kamara's not going to score. All right. That gets me to 1,055 here. Can we see that on the bottom? Yep. 1,055. And then I would have to pick two in case of emergencies. So I'll take the Debo over and, the Goff over receptions. Sure. And that's how you build a lineup here. All right. Super easy, super fun to do. I really enjoy building lineups here, but that's not the only way to play, right? So you can go in and you can play this touchdowns only contest, right? So all you're doing is picking, all right, is Leonard Fournette going to score a touchdown? Yes, 80 points. No, 120. I kind of like the no there. Eckler, 2 TDs again? Is he going to have a big day against Cleveland? I think there's a chance. Right? Thielen. Oh, Adam Thielen is scoring. I love the 125 point there. Gibson rush TDs. James Robinson against Houston? Of course he's scoring, right? So if you just want to look at touchdowns, that's where you go. If you go to the research station, we can actually sort by all offense, and it'll show me. Slide back over here. I can actually sort by who we're projecting to have the best chance of scoring a touchdown, right? Whether that's rushing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, right? So if I want to sort largest to smallest, we are currently projecting, Derrick Henry 0.7, right? So is Henry on here? Could be. Doesn't look like it. Who's next in our list? Oh, Allen Robinson is not scoring a touchdown, but okay. There we go. James Robinson, 0.6, second highest projection in terms of what we're looking at for and we get rush and receiving and 95 points all day, baby. Love it. So that's another way to play, and this is a great contest, right? $4,000 to first place. You're only competing against 1,000 people. Not bad, my friend. And then up here, we can see versus. All right. So versus is another way that you can play on here. And in this way, in this game format, you are picking 5 of 10 options. All right. And the player on the left gets a handicap. So we're looking at who's going to have more pass yards, Jared Goff against New England or Kirk Cousins against Chicago. Who's going to have, and Jared Goff is going to get plus 10.5. So he gets an extra. He already, let's say he starts at 10.5, right? More receiving yards, Diggs or Mike Evans. Ooh, I like Mike Evans there. More completions, Marcus Mariota or Davis Mills. This one would not play, right? If you picked this prop, Kyle Pitts is out this week, or likely out. I don't know if he's been officially ruled out yet. You would have to get your in case of emergency. Wentz or Tannehill, pass TDs, right? So Wentz already starts with a half. So if they both throw 2, who wins? Wentz, right? Wilson and Jacoby Brissett for interceptions. I really like that. I wish this pass yards. Oh, 2 terrible quarterbacks, Jimmy G and Baker Mayfield. Now they're just messing with us. They're just messing with us over here on Thrive. So I really love playing on Thrive. If you use the code ARMY, you can get up to a $200 deposit match. You get free tickets, things like that to enter these contests. So ton of fun. I love playing on this site. It's one of my favorites. So get involved, join us. And if you're on DFS Army VIP and you want access to these tools that I just showed you about in here, you can use the code UpNorth. That'll get you 10% off for life for DFS Army. Come join us. Guys, just solo 3rd place in the Millie yesterday, which is insane. 50,000 for my boy Nolan. So shout out to him. We're pushing out content every single day. Best in the business. Our optimizer is the best. I love it. And very, very proud to be a part of it. And you know what? join me over on Thrive too. Check me out in the lobby over there, and we can see if you can beat me there. So have a great week 5, everybody. Good luck. Can't wait to see your win. In the comments below, if you have a prop that you love, drop it. If it hits, I'll give you a shout out on the next podcast. Cheers, guys.